Thank you very much for this warm welcome, Gabriele. So my name is Kerstin Erbe. I'm Managing Director at DM Drogeriemarkt, which is a leading retailer in the drug market area in Germany, but we also deal in European countries. We have more than 3,800 stores, and so it's a big company with a major impact. And I'm responsible for all our own brands, the DM brands. I'm also responsible for the topic of sustainability in our board, and I'm also managing more than 268 stores in Germany.
Thank you, Kerstin. Very amazing numbers. And I very well know your assortment, which is very interesting. So congratulations to this work, this daily work. Kerstin, what does responsible leadership mean to you and your organization?
As a retailer, of course, we always look at our customers. What are their wishes? What are their needs? What does make sense to them? And that means when we look at our customers, we do not only look at our customers today, but also tomorrow. And in order to look at tomorrow's customer and act sustainable, we cannot consume the resources they need for their economic activity, for their good life. So if we take decisions or actions today, we always have to know that these decisions and actions will have an impact on future lives of future generations, because we consume some resources with everything we do. And this is what's responsible leadership for me in the core, but also in our organization, that we need to understand what kind of impact our decisions today to serve our customers and consumers today will have not only on the planet and the nature, but also on future generations.
Thanks a lot. Amazing. And what have you undertaken to reduce your personal carbon footprint?
I mean, climate change and the overconsumption of natural resources is a huge topic. So I said I need to start at myself. I need to better understand what kind of impact do I have with the life I live, with my habits, with my conduct. So what I did is I did a kind of LCA life cycle assessment in which I really looked at my current consumption patterns, my possessions, my way of traveling, my mobility, my way of food. So we looked at the current patterns, but we also tried to look at the past. So it was quite painful, I have to say, because I really had to list what kind of cars I drove in all my life, and what kind of flats have I lived, and what kind of heatings did we have, and. So we listed all of that in major areas where we know it will have a carbon impact. And then we looked at 2 weeks of my current life in which I counted all my clothes, I counted all my possessions, I listed all the food I ate, the waste I produced, and all of that. By doing that, we could understand what my personal hotspots were. So hotspot means, I mean, where do I have major carbon consumption, but also water consumption? Where do I pollute the ground, etc.? So we did not only look at the carbon footprint, but we looked at the overall footprint. And because you can do things, you can do small things, you can do huge things. So it's very important to understand where your big drivers are. Usually for human beings, the major impact, the hotspots are mobility, it's food, it's housing, and of course the possessions you have, because all the possessions you have been produced and they had kind of carbon footprint, ecological footprint. And my personal footprint, being a professional in the way I lived and worked, I worked in international companies. So of course I flew a lot with a plane. And this was the major hotspot in my life. It was really my mobility. Yeah, and the huge number of flights I used to reach the destinations I had to go to, personally, but also professionally. Secondly, of course, it's also the housing, the way your house is isolated, how much how much room do you consume? How do you heat? All of that. And last but not least, food is a major driver. So yeah, personally, my major hotspot was the mobility, but there were also opportunities to improve in the area of housing and in the area of food. So what I did is I really substantially reduced my flight schedules. I reduced and changed my mobility. So today it's very rare that I take the plane for short distance, never. For long distance, I try to reduce. We did some changes to our apartment, to our house, bought a new heating, all of that, and we try to eat much more vegetarian. So we are not yet vegetarian, but we try to do that. And I think a major thing which I learned when I counted all my possession was that there were many articles I bought in kind of promotional sales, things where I said, "Oh, great, yeah, it might be nice." And when I looked at them, I found out that there were many items which I hardly ever wore or even valued. It was mostly items I bought in impulses or on promotions, things like that. So it made me really reflect also my consumption behavior, the way I dealt with these things. And I try now to buy more sustainable, which is a bit less, but better, yeah, in order to reduce the footprint, but also have things which I really value and use for a long time.
So thank you very much for this interesting insight into your daily personal life. And I would like to ask you to share with us your list or how you worked on that, because I think we can learn from you. And I would like to share this with my team members and the colleagues here in the Autospanson group. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I learned it's really tough, yeah, because it's many habits which I've built for many years. Yeah, so we just talked about fashion and clothes, yeah. So of course, yeah, I want to be dressed in a way where I say, yeah, I feel well. Yeah, but then how much is really needed and how much is just driven by other things? Yeah, so it's very tough in some ways to change behaviors which you grew up with and which are very socially adequate or even expected from you in your role. Yeah, and it's very tough to really reflect them and change them. There are others which are much more easy. Yeah, because it's much more convenient to start with. And I think this is the important thing. It's very tough to be very fundamental and do things very radical. But also if you start changing, yeah, it gets more and better and it may be very different from the way the things you would change to the things which are very important to me. So it's a journey, and the journey begins today and it will take for quite a while, I guess.
Let's start it today. So thank you. And what are your main achievements to ensure sustainability in your area of responsibility? You are responsible for the assortment in the DM organization, so I think you have a huge impact of some sustainability and sustainable products.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we sell consumer products, everyday products. Yeah, so if I look, for example, at our major brands, yeah, we have many plastic bottles. Yeah, we have things, in a huge quantity. So for me, the key insight and the key driver is that we have to understand what kind of ecological imprint, ecological footprint these products have. And that midterm, in order to respect the planetary boundaries that we have to include the ecological cost of those products, the footprint of the product in the cost that we pay for the product when we buy them. Yeah, today we buy them and we democratize. I mean, we just pollute in the air a lot of the ecological footprints by understanding these ecological consequences, including the reversing, of these things in the products we create. Yeah, we can really make a difference. So including ecological cost in the design and in the creation of the product will change then, and over time we will live to respect the planetary boundaries by using the mechanism of markets in that way. So it will drive a completely different kind of innovation. Yeah, it will transform many things we do, but it will help to really avoid key hotspot. It will help to change the things we do, and it will allow us to have a better consumption midterm.
So thank you very much, Kerstin, for this interesting information on sustainability and your personal and business life. I look forward to start with you on this topic in my personal life, and I hope that we can make a difference in the future. So I wish you all the best, and hope that you will be successful also in the future on sustainable products and also in your personal life. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.